AC. Solange teams up with Diddy to snitch on Jay-Z and send him to jail. So it looks like Jay-Z might want to watch his back in the next couple of weeks because it looks like he has made some very powerful enemies who are out to get him. Word on the streets is that his former BFF, Sean Diddy Combs, is furious at Jay-Z for abandoning him when he got exposed last year. But as it turns out, Jay-Z is not the only one who has beef with Jay-Z because there are some allegations that Solange is also out to get him. Now, everybody knows that Jay-Z and Solange don't always see eye to eye, but things between them have gotten so bad that Solange is now allegedly teaming up with Diddy to take Jay-Z down. Chaley, this looks like a messy case of family feud, and y'all are not going to believe how they're taking Diddy down. All right, folks, let's dive into the latest gossip because there's some wild stuff going down in Hollywood lately. Remember all that buzz about Jay-Z possibly being the next big name to fall in the industry? Well, word on the street is his former buddy Diddy might have a hand in it. Allegedly, Diddy's been whispering secrets to stir the pot, supposedly as payback for Jay-Z cutting ties and leaving him high and dry. Unless you've been living under a rock for the past few months, you've probably caught wind of the drama surrounding Diddy. It all kicked off when his ex, Cassie, along with 3 other women, made some serious accusations against him. I won't delve into the details, but let's just say it was enough to get him booted from the industry and even uninvited from the Grammys. His so-called friends in the biz promptly dropped him like a hot potato, but it seems like Jay-Z's distancing hit Diddy especially hard, sparking rumors that Diddy's on a vendetta to bring him down next. And to understand why Diddy's got such a chip on his shoulder toward Jay-Z, you gotta know they were tight. I mean, really tight. They weren't just industry pals, they were practically inseparable. Diddy even went as far as to say that only Jay-Z and his mom could call him by his real name, Sean. That's some serious bestie status right there.
There's only one person.
Oh, go on.
And I call him Sean. That's Jay-Z. We call each other Sean.
Okay.
Yeah. Nobody else could call me Sean.
He's the only person who's Sean approved.
There's not a single person that
outside of family.
That should be outside of my mother.
Okay,
That should be calling me. Yeah, that should be calling me Sean.
So Diddy was probably counting on Jay-Z to have his back through these tough times, but boy, did he get a rude awakening. Jay-Z pulled a fast one and ditched Diddy quicker than you can say psych. Can't say it's all that surprising though, cause Jay-Z's got a track record of bailing when the going gets tough for his buddies, especially if it could bite him in the butt. Take his friendship with R. Kelly, for instance. When R. Kelly pulled that stunt with fake court docs to marry Aaliyah before she hit 18, and him in his 30s, Jay-Z stuck around. He knew what was up, but stayed tight with R. Kelly, even going on tour together. But the minute R. Kelly got nailed for his shady stuff, Jay-Z did a 180 and acted like their friendship was ancient history. So yeah, Jay-Z ghosting on Diddy shouldn't have come as a shocker, but hey, maybe Diddy thought that Jay-Z was a ride or die and figured Jay-Z would stick around. Turns out, Jay-Z wasn't about to put his own rep on the line. Anyway, it's been months since that whole mess, but Diddy's still in the doghouse. Seems like he's decided to go down swinging, though. Word on the street is he's singing like a bird, snitching hard on Jay-Z, trying to drag him into the mess and take him down. For ages, there have been whispers about Jay-Z being mixed up in some sketchy stuff, but nothing's ever stuck. Back in the day, when the internet wasn't the beast it is now, most of these alleged incidents went down. No camera phones to catch him in the act, you know? So it was basically his word against any accusers. Not that anyone really stepped up to the plate. But it's not just the lack of receipts that's kept him in the clear. Jay-Z is no dummy. He's always been savvy enough to cover his tracks, careful not to leave behind any breadcrumbs or loose ends.
Sean Carter is worse.
Uh-oh.
Oh, man.
He's smarter. He's patient. He's not sloppy.
Mm-hmm.
This pussy been lining up people he calls friends and stepping to the side while they get hit by the guillotine for 30 fucking years.
But you know how it goes. There's no such thing as a flawless crime, and now it looks like Diddy is ready to snitch. Fans started getting suspicious when Jay-Z decided to cancel his annual Rock Nation brunch this year. Now, if you're familiar with Jay-Z, you know he doesn't mess around when it comes to the brunch. Jay-Z's been throwing this bash for 14 years no matter what, except during the pandemic when large gatherings were a no-go. But Diddy's been a fixture at this shindig every single time, part of his tight bromance with Jay-Z. This year, fans were on the edge of their seats, wondering if Jay-Z would take the gamble and invite Diddy anyway, or just leave him out in the cold. That was until Roc Nation announced that there would be no brunch this year. Now, that raised some eyebrows because the only thing that's ever forced them to pull the plug was the actual pandemic. They announced that instead of hosting their usual pre-Grammys bash, Beyoncé and Jay-Z would be attending Clive Davis's gala to support their friend John Platt, the CEO of Sony Music Publishing, who was getting a nod with the Grammy Salute to Industry Icons Award. So here's the latest fan theory. Folks are convinced that the real reason behind the brunch cancellation was a classic case of Diddy drama. They're saying Jay-Z and Beyoncé used Clive's party as a smokescreen to keep Diddy out of the picture. Smart move, because even if they didn't invite Diddy, people would have been all over it, speculating about rifts and stirring up drama. And here's where it gets juicier. The alleged dirt Diddy's got on Jay-Z. There have been whispers floating around that Jay-Z was supposedly keeping Beyoncé under his thumb with drugs. Some insiders spilled the tea, claiming Jay-Z was allegedly slipping Beyoncé drugs to keep her in check. Fans started side-eyeing the relationship, noticing how she seemed a bit off, especially in public with Jay-Z. Take this one video from a basketball game, for instance. Beyoncé's swaying and nodding her head had folks talking, saying she looked like she was on another planet, totally out of it.
Hero of the game, Glenn Martin of New York City. As a longtime real estate executive for Christian and Wakefield, Glenn had the foresight years ago to know what Brooklyn could become.
This also explains why Solange doesn't like Jay-Z, because she sees these things firsthand, and it explains why she and Jay-Z have never gotten along. Since the early days of Beyoncé and Jay-Z's romance, there have been whispers about Solange not exactly being Jay-Z's biggest fan. We didn't know the whole story back then, but it was clear that Solange thought Beyoncé deserved better. And let me tell you, Solange has always had Beyoncé's back, like hardcore. I'm talking about vetting Beyoncé's boyfriend since Beyoncé was barely a teenager, with Solange just a little kid herself. Remember that story Beyoncé told? Yeah, Solange was on duty from day one.
Music. My sister actually had our family pretty famous for something else. She decided to try to get my boyfriend in trouble because she hated him. She was so jealous because we were best friends until him. And
How old were you guys at this time?
I was 13.
13. The boyfriend is probably 13,
About
14?
13, yeah,
And
14.
your sister?
She was 8.
Oh.
Yeah.
So she's working on Big Sister here.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
I'm still very surprised she did all this. We were upstairs and we were watching TV. Solange was supposed to leave us alone. My mother kept checking on us every hour. My sister walks by the television. She's looking at him like this. And she just keeps walking. And I'm like, after the third time, what are you doing? I'm trying to find my coloring book. So I'm like, okay. So we go try to find a coloring book. My boyfriend and I in my room looking for a coloring book. He's not supposed to be in there. She walks in. We're like, what's wrong with you? He's not supposed to be in here. I'm gonna get you in trouble. So she goes downstairs. Next thing you know, my dad is running up the stairs. I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you. So my boyfriend is like, what, Mr. Knowles? What? So he is literally trying to kill him. My mother, me, the girls were all trying to fight him. I mean, hold him back. Next thing you know, ding dong, it's the cops.
Oh,
my sister
goodness.
called the police on my father because she said he was gonna kill him. And my dad is like, well, they said that my daughter said they were upstairs having sex. The cops is like, oh, I would kill my sons too. So then my dad is like, Solange, why did you say that? Is it true? And she's like, no.
But what really sealed the deal on Solange's disdain for Jay-Z? That infamous elevator footage leaked by TMZ, where we all saw Solange straight up wailing on Jay-Z with punches and kicks. That moment? It's etched in the Pop Culture Hall of Fame as one of the most jaw-dropping celeb showdowns ever. And Solange's protective big sis vibes? They were on full display for the world to see. But again, they decided to keep a united front and release a joint statement as a family. The statement said, "As a result of the public release of the elevator security footage, there has been a great deal of speculation about what triggered the unfortunate incident. But the most important thing is that our family has worked through it. Jay and Solange each assume their share of responsibility for what has occurred. They both acknowledge their role in this private matter that is played out in the public. They both have apologized to each other, and we have moved forward as a united family." There were rumors that the reason she had attacked him was that she found out that he had been cheating on Beyoncé and that she lost her cool. This rumor got stronger in 2016 when Beyoncé dropped her album Lemonade, where she admitted that Jay-Z had cheated on her. So, there's this whole saga about Jay stepping out on Beyoncé, and apparently it's not a one-time thing. Word on the street is that Jay-Z got busted at a party trying to slide his digits to some other woman. This lady, Olivia McFaller, spilled the beans, saying Jay-Z attempted to snag her number at a bash. Olivia swears up and down that nothing sketchy went down between her and Jay-Z, but not everyone's buying it. Some folks reckon she's just trying to dodge the wrath of the Bayhive.
For the most part, Jay hit me on some, "I will reach you when I'm in town."
He wanted you to be his girl Friday.
He wanted me to be his girl when he's in town.
According to Olivia, she shut Jay-Z down because he had the nerve to send his bodyguard as his wingman, which she found pretty darn rude. But get this. A few weeks later, they bump into each other again, this time at Nobu in Miami. Olivia's chilling with her crew, and Jay-Z, well, he's got a team too, including Solange of all people. So Olivia spills that they ended up having a private chat and swapping numbers in a secluded part of the restaurant. But here's the kicker. Solange caught them red-handed. Talk about awkward. Olivia said, "Solange came walking up out of nowhere. I thought I was about to get my butt beat, so I backed off quickly. She has been guarding her sister's property since day one. Bay doesn't even have to say anything. Solange is a beast. I can't believe I dodged a whopping from Solange that day. She was a big reason why I left him alone. She gave me a look of death, very scary." So yeah, Solange doesn't like Jay-Z all that much, and word on the streets is that she doesn't approve of the way Jay-Z treats her precious older sister. As I said, Solange is protective of her older sister, and she will never let anybody get away with treating Beyoncé like crap and drugging her, which is why she is now allegedly teaming up with Diddy to take her brother-in-law down. So, here's the scoop from Beyoncé's former bodyguard, who spilled some tea claiming her marriage to Jay-Z was more like a business contract than a love story. According to him, their union was faker than a knockoff designer handbag.
Your relationship was a business relationship, financial, to get to the top, to become billionaires. There's no love there.
Now, if we buy into this whole business deal theory, it's not surprising that Jay-Z would go all out to protect his assets, even if it means some shady stuff. Allegedly, that included keeping Beyoncé under wraps with some heavy-duty meds. The bodyguard saying Beyoncé's not sticking around by choice, but because Jay's got her on a short leash, pulling all the strings.
See, hardly nobody knows, but I'll say it, man. Yeah, Beyonce's on drugs. She's been on them for a long time, and you keep her that way.
Now, these are just rumors flying around, so take them with a grain of salt. But if you think about it, it wouldn't be that far-fetched for Diddy to be involved, considering the allegations Cassie made in her lawsuit against him. And let's not forget about the other women who came forward with similar stories. But here's where it gets really juicy. Jaguar Wright dropped some hints suggesting there might have been some shady business dealings between Jay-Z and Diddy.
You know, camaraderie with Honeycombs and AKA Diddy. And
why do you give him the honeycombs? Why do you give him honeycombs?
Because he smacks so sweet. That fucking sodomite. Anyway,
She also backed up the bodyguard's claims about how Beyoncé was allegedly being drugged by Jay-Z.
Monster. And I've known he's a monster for years. I waited a long time to see if he would grow a conscience. And the more drugs he pumps down his wife's throat to keep her in a catatonic
No, girl.
Fans also noticed something weird at the Grammys last year when Jay-Z offered her a drink and she refused to take it, and Jay-Z looked offended.
Welcome back to the Grammys, everybody. You know, when you equal a record, there's no way you don't get to hold your Grammy in your hand and celebrate that.
So, if Diddy ever decided to spill the beans on Jay-Z, it'd be like dropping a bomb on the internet. And don't even get me started on Jay-Z's alleged cheating escapades and how he basically confessed to treating Beyoncé like dirt, shattering her spirit. Remember that line from his song 444? He's like, I said, don't embarrass me instead of be mine. That was my proposal for us to go steady. I seen the innocence leave your eyes. I still mourn its death, and I apologize to all the women whom I toyed with your emotions, 'cause I was emotionless. Yeah, he pretty much admitted to treating Beyoncé badly during their relationship and their marriage. But wait, there's more darkness to this story. Rumor has it that Jay-Z might allegedly be playing the role of a handler for the big shots in Hollywood. I know it's hard to wrap your head around, especially since Jay-Z and Beyoncé are seen as A-listers themselves, holding major sway in the industry. But according to the grapevine, there are even bigger players in Hollywood who pull the strings behind the scenes. These are the real heavy hitters, and apparently they control celebs by using other top-tier stars as their handlers. Names like Oprah and Tyler Perry have been thrown around as alleged handlers for these elites. And now it looks like Jay-Z might have been part of this game all along, but he has managed to go undetected until now. But buckle up, folks, because here's where it gets crazy. Jay-Z's teetering on the edge of a major revelation, and it's gonna hit him like a ton of bricks. Isn't it a bit fishy that this bombshell's dropping right after his fallout with Diddy? Well, let's just say there might be more to it, because word on the street is Jay-Z could be turning on him. We're still trying to connect the dots, but the whispers are ominous. Like, really ominous. There's talk that Beyoncé might be making moves to cut ties with Jay-Z, making a clean break before all his skeletons come tumbling out of the closet and drag her down with him. Then there's also the fact that he cheated on her, even though he apologized in the music. They went to therapy, sorted it out, and he even admitted to feeling guilty about the whole thing, saying, you know, most people walk away, and like divorce rate is like 50% or something because most people can't see themselves. The hardest thing is seeing pain on someone's face that you caused and then have to deal with yourself. But let's not kid ourselves. Jay-Z's cheating wasn't just a one-time oopsie-daisy. Beyoncé dropped some major hints in her song Plastic on the Sofa off the Renaissance album, strongly implying he'd strayed again. She sang, I know nobody's perfect, so I'll let you be. We don't need the world's acceptance. They're too hard on me. They're too hard on you, boy. And despite all that drama, she stuck around, or at least didn't hit the divorce button, even though they were practically leading separate lives. It's kind of mind-boggling, right? I mean, she's been through thick and thin with the guy. So it's not a stretch to think she might not want to go down with him now that he's facing some serious heat. And speaking of heat, things are heating up big time. It all kicked off when Jay-Z got called out and dragged through the mud by none other than his former Rock Nation artist, singer MIA. Mia accused Jay-Z of being in cahoots with the shady Bronfman family, claiming that he helped the family take her child away from her. She tweeted, my first custody battle was in 2013. My child was 4. I was managed by Jay-Z, who ultimately was paid by Bronfmans. I sacrificed my career for my child. They ripped me off, copied my style, gave it to their puppets, and shadow banned me on every platform, but it was worth it to save him from the madness of what you know now. And as if that wasn't bad enough, she claimed that Jay-Z completely distanced himself from her after that. She tweeted, the day I was served for my child, Rock Nation stopped all communication with me, and all my emails to Jay's asking for help was wiped from my inbox. My home was broken into and every laptop was taken. I was trapped in Brooklyn on an order served that restricted me from leaving Brooklyn for 15 years. Word on the streets is that the reason Mia is now speaking up is that she has the backing of a very powerful person, Diddy. Allegedly, Diddy is behind all this, and this is just the first step in his plan to get revenge on Jay-Z. And allegedly, it's about to be way worse than we think, because he now has Solange's backup. Anywho, y'all let me know how you feel about this drama, then check out this next video.